What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Stokastic.com. We are back with the process for Thursday. It is June 23rd. I'm going to cough, so I'm just going to start this over. What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Stokastic.com, back with the process for Thursday, June 23rd. You guys got to hit that like button right out of the gate. That's the piece we need the most. Subscribe to this channel. Notification bell so you know when everything goes live. We got to talk a little bit about PrizePicks, presenting sponsor of this show. If you use the promo code Awesemo, AWESEMO, when you sign up, 100% instant match deposit bonus up to $100. If you put in 50, they'll match with 50. If you put in 100, they'll match with 100. If you put in 200, they will only give you 100. So put in that 100, take the free loot. You won't find a better situation anywhere. We've got plenty of tools at awesemo.com. We've got plenty of tools at stokastic.com to help you out. Look, it's going to be hard. It's going to take me a while. I've been doing these reads for 4+ years. We got the PrizePicks player prop tool. Odds Shopper will help you out quite a bit because you don't have to worry about sharks and optimizers. You're building parlay cards. You put 5 together, a max of 5 together. You get up to 10x your entry fee, cross sports, all that good stuff. Plenty of drill downs. You want to do pitches. You want to do home runs in baseball. You can do whatever you want. It's great. Tons. Dog barking outside. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. Hope you can't. But either way, go sign up at PrizePicks. Not a ton to talk about today. It's more contest evaluation than it is review. I did not play yesterday's baseball slate. Did not have time. Had to go pick up my mom. She is now home, which is exciting stuff. But it also meant that I wasn't playing any DFS yesterday. It's a shame. I would have had, not that everybody else didn't already have Ohtani, but boy, oh boy, did he have a hell of a day yesterday. We're going to look at baseball quickly, and then we're going to look at the UFC contests on DraftKings for this Saturday. Small card, but still playing it nonetheless. So I've got baseball pulled up first. We'll look at baseball. Then we will go to the UFC. Now, this is the early slate for baseball. This locks in 3 hours from right now. It's 9:06 a.m. as I record this. So most people are not going to see this in time, but I do want to be on paper showing everything that's going on. The early slate is the real slate today. The late slate is 3 games. It's not ideal. By the way, before I even forget to say this, I'm going to make sure I'm not muted. Yeah, that would have been really annoying. NBA draft show tonight, 8 p.m. We're going to stream on Playback. We're going to stream on YouTube. YouTube will be showing us. Playback will have the live. We'll have our audio, but we'll have the live feed of the draft. We're going to have a bunch of guys popping on with me, but I'm talking draft for, I don't know, an hour or two at the very least, until the draft coverage starts to be not interesting. So we're wide open for tonight. Baseball for the early slate. Not a lot of interesting stuff here. We know that the relay throw is the great contest every single day. Like, for example, yesterday, the relay throw was your top contest, 43 times your buy-in. It's the exact same for today. It's the 200K prize pool, and there's not much else to say there. So the early slate now has the micro 4-seamer as actually the second best contest with a 10K prize pool. I think that stands out. 37 times your buy-in. If we look, we didn't have that on the 22nd. We did have it on the 21st. That was a 50K prize pool, 36.6 times your buy-in. So basically the same contest. Normally when they bring these prize pools down, the dollar amount you get for a 1%er per buy-in also goes down, but they didn't really move this one. So the micro 4-seamer to me looks fantastic. On top of that, I'm also going to get into the chin music and the base hit. So we're going to play 22 lineups on this early slate, $97 worth of entry because it's $80 to max the 4-seamer, another $5 for the chin music, another $12 for the base hit. Going to be getting into those 3 contests, 22 total lineups. They didn't do any interesting micro stuff otherwise. We've got 2 standard issue mini maxes, one with the 50-cent buy-in, one with the dollar buy-in. Would I like to play 150 lineups today? Sure, but I would rather take advantage of the micro 4-seamer. I just think it's a better contest. So I'm not getting in anything down here. I'm certainly not getting in the upper deck, which is an incredibly difficult contest that I think has a terrible payout structure. The only saving grace for the upper deck is the fact that you pay like 4% less in rake. That will add up over time, but you've got to be a high-end player, in my opinion, to be wanting to get into that. Really, I just wanted to stick to this top here. I didn't need the base hit, but there wasn't really a natural place to play another contest. So for today, this is going to be our early slate in baseball. 22 lineups, $97 an entry, an aggregate 36 times your buy-in. So fingers crossed that we can hit a 1%er today. But we're not done with MLB. Well, we're done with MLB, but we're not done evaluating contests. We need to take a look at this Saturday's UFC card. Lock at 7 p.m. It is not a great card, but it is on ESPN. So make sure you're watching it at the very least. Best contest you can get into, no surprise, the $15 throwdown. That's going to be $2,200 to max it, 31,000 entries, 400K prize pool. They pay out 54% of that prize pool to the top 1% of entries, 46 times your buy-in. Looks good to me, but that's not what we're getting in. We're also not getting in the armbar. Now, that is going to be a more difficult contest than the throwdown, just because when you max it at 150 entries, one, it's more attainable. It's 1/3 the cost of maxing the throwdown. But when you do max it, you get 1.5% of all of the entries in the contest. That is 3 times more of the entries than you have for the throwdown. So a much more difficult contest. The more pros that get into this contest, the more difficult it is going to be. And you pay slightly more rake on the armbar than you do in the throwdown. You get that extra, basically an extra percentage point of rake. Very difficult contest. Luckily, the payout structure is good. So if you have the means, go for it. But that one's going to be sobering over a year. You're going to learn pretty quickly whether or not you're a profitable player or not. What I'm going to be entering is already on the screen. $100 on the dot, 21 lineups. A single bullet into the $40 counterpunch, single entry contest. 583 total entries, 20K prize pool, pays out 48% of that prize pool to the top 1%. You don't like, obviously, there are going to be pros in the counterpunch. One entry into the counterpunch is 0.17% of the entries. So you got a lot of likely dead money. You're getting a significant reduction in rake, 14.2% rake, in fact, which is down from the normal 15.9. So you're saving there. I love this contest. It's certainly difficult, but I think that I'm in a really good spot getting in there. And then they are running a micro contest for the UFC on Saturday. That is the $3 micro special. 20,000 entries, 20 max contest, 50K prize pool, pays out 45% to the top 1%. 0.1% of the entries are going out to people that max enter. That is nothing. It's probably, if you're trying to play more than one lineup, it's the best contest that you can get into from a softness perspective. 37.5 times your buy-in if you get a 1% entry. I love this one. You can dupes, barring like you should be able to avoid aggressive duplication in a 20,000 person contest in comparison to maybe like the throwdown. There's going to be enough out there on this card where you can get through pretty clean if you need to. Surely, like, chalk is going to rule the roost, but this is going to put me on $100 on the dot for the UFC. 38.5 times my buy-in is the aggregate rate. If you wanted to get in, there's one other contest that I think looks good. That would be the $8 hook. It's going to be basically like the armbar, but harder with a worse payout structure. So if you're just playing a lot, I guess go to the hook, but $8 to get in. A similar size contest to the armbar. You're 150 maxing again, but it's when you do max the hook, it's 2% of the entries. 2%. That means, just think about it like this. If 50 people wanted to max the hook, they couldn't do that. You would only, like, the last person would have to lose a couple entries. 50 people. Is that right? Am I doing the math correctly? Is that a bug in my thing? Am I gonna have to cut this? Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, I'm right. 49 people, technically. I was being when you see here, the entry percentage is 2%. 1 divided by 0.02 is 50-ish. Ignore the rounding and stuff. It doesn't take much to, let's just say there's 20 high-end MMA pros. I don't know what the actual answer is, but let's just say it's 20. They're taking 40% of all of the entries, and they know more than most people about minimizing duplications, the opportunities. You're going to see the lay person chop or win more, but chop a lot. Whereas the pros are going to chop less and win more money, but less frequently. Pay attention to that, though. The good part about the hook is that it's 36 times your buy-in, so you're getting up into that mid to high 30s range. But that is a very, very, very difficult contest to have $1,200 out in. And if you think that a lot of people, you can use lineup study to see. Let's just do that. Let's do that right now for last week's card. I think that'll be helpful. So we're going to go to lineup study. I think this will be an interesting thing to look at quickly. And then we're going to get into the contest so you guys can see me register. So if I pull up lineup study, this would be last week's card. Where's the hook? Okay, so it's 5,800 entries. So this will tell an interesting story. How many people max entered the hook last week? 22. 22 people max entered the hook. That's 22 times 150 is 3,300 entries. 3,300 entries divided by 5,882. 56% of the field is these 12 entries. Let's get that off the screen so I can widen this a bit. That's really difficult to deal with. So those are your maxers here. A couple names that I recognize, obviously. Shout out to OCD OBV. I don't know how you're supposed to say that. Is it like OCD obviously? Probably, right? I don't know. I should just ask him. I can send that message. Obviously, the boss man, Alex Baker, hanging out in here. We've got Brick in here. Also, another one of my peers here, Shanzan, Mox in here. And yet, 3 of them profitable in 150 lineups. Difficult contest. Profit is not the thing that you should be looking at here, but that's 22 on, at least that's a bigger card, or slightly bigger card than what we've got going on this week. But on a pay-per-view, this number probably goes up. You got to fight with these guys right out of the gate. And there's names here that I don't recognize that are probably bigger MMA guys than I know. It's not a DFS sport that I follow all that closely. I just kind of follow the UFC itself. But when 50+% of all the entries are getting hit here by 150 maxers, you have to assume that most of these people are coming in here with some sort of model or some sort of plan of attack, more so than the other sort of 47% or whatever it was of the contest. This is very difficult, so be aware of that when you're trying to enter it. Let's go ahead and get into our MLB contest and our MMA contest for today. So micro four-seamer, chin music, and base hit. We'll do baseball first. So we're going to get into... Let's do this. We'll do this. We'll do this. And we'll do this. Micro four-seamer. Where are you hiding? Micro four-seamer. Gotcha. Lock in 2 hours and 52 minutes. I need to prep a baseball slate because I am not on the strategy show today. I am on Live Before Lock with Greg today. I was going to say, unfortunately, I didn't want that to sound like I was mad that I was going to be on the show with Greg. I'm mad because I think it's a 3-game main slate leading into a night where I got to do 2 or 3 hours worth of draft coverage. Not fun, folks. Not fun at all. All right, so we put our other 19 entries into the micro four-seamer. We put 1 into the base hit, 1 into the chin music. Was that what it was supposed to be? Micro four-seamer, chin music, base hit, done. $97. We're in. And then that allows us to back up, go to the UFC, and we will register for our UFC contest for Saturday. And that was going to be the counter punch and the micro special. So we'll get into the micro special first. I don't really care what my lineup looks like. Let's do Sarukian, TJ Brown, Badeau. I don't think I said that right. Doesn't matter. Paiva. We'll do Chukwi. And then I have 8K left for Cody Durden. No overlaps. Good. Not that it matters, but it's a live lineup at the very least. Always want to have something at least mildly. In theory, I should put my optimal into every contest that I register. In baseball, you should put in your optimal of like the latest games you have. I'm lazy a lot when I forget about it. So there we go, $100 and we're in. I'm really lazy about putting that kind of stuff in until it screws you. And then you become, like you forget to put your lineups in or something. You end up having an error. You have to run a train. It happens like every 6 months to a year. And then you start like being really diligent about it. But for right now, it's been a while since I've had that kind of error, so I'm back to being lazy. But maybe that'll be our new thing in the process show. We'll be good about putting in an optimal. But that's where we stand now, guys. That's it for today's process show. We've got our MLB lineups in. We've got our our UFC lineups in for what's the word I'm looking for? Saturday's show. Golf kicked off today. I can show you guys. I don't have we were on the show yesterday. We picked 151 lineups for golf. This is my golf workbook. I've got my live scoring here set up by whatever my aggregate score. I don't even know if you guys can see this or you guys can't see this. I'm looking at it. It's on my own screen. I'm talking about golf. You're still looking at the DK side. So this is my live scoring golf workbook. I've got this, tracks the score, tracks my odds of that particular lineup making the cut. So we did a 150 max for golf and then one individual single entry, which is this lineup right here. So we'll keep an eye on that over the next couple of days. We'll touch. I'll pull this up tomorrow during the process show when we break down baseball. That's it, though, guys. I think we're done. We're done here. Watch the NBA draft show tonight, 8 p.m. YouTube playback. You're going to be able to watch if you want to watch the live feed, you'll be able to watch with playback and hear our audio instead of the actual audio. If you want to watch with us on YouTube, that'll be available too. I'll be running the show. Eric will pop in, Ben will pop in, Lofty could pop in, Greg will pop in. We're going to have a lot of guys coming in and out for me, but we're going to break it all down. So that's it. That's the process show. Everybody, thanks for being here. Like, subscribe, notification bell. Shout out to PrizePicks for being the sponsor.